Welcome to Rewired and Desired, where intimacy, mindset, and disability intersect. I'm your
Yeah.
host, Trina Ricketts, and this is your other host. I don't know what side of the screen you'll be on when we do this, Nicole Richards.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Today we're going to talk about Nicole's updates on her dating life. So we did a coaching session a few months ago when we first started this podcast, and Nicole shared that she was having an attraction to a gentleman in her life that was coming in and out of her life at the time, and she hadn't been with anyone in a long time and hasn't, I don't think, anyway.
Mhm.
And so she's going to let us know what happened with that, where she's at with dating now, and what challenges she may be experiencing at this time, if any. And we're going to do a little coaching session right in front of you all.
Yes, 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 yes. So thank you for that introduction, Trina. You summed it up very perfectly. Yeah, what was their second episode, I think, was when we did that.
Yeah.
And we talked about that there was this man and he lived in the area, and I'm here, helping my friend caregiving for him. And um he was hitting on me, right? And making me feel some sort of way that I had never felt in a long time. And and when I prefaced that feeling, I look back now to say, it wasn't that exciting actually. But at the time it felt kind of exciting, right? Because
Mm.
one, he just was a little attentive, but now looking back, so glad that the fizzled
Mm.
because there's something else going on right now for me. So moving backwards a little bit, it was like the end of October, and he was leaving, but he didn't tell us he was leaving, and I was just like, gosh, it's like weird. He's like hit on me, whatever, and I
Mixed
was,
signals.
and then he's just leaving, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yep, mixed signals, right?
Hmm.
And but at the time, when you're in it, you don't really look at it like that, right? You're just like,
Hmm.
a little smitten, you're getting some attention, you haven't had attention in a while. So it feels different, right? Um, but also comparing this to my past life regression, because remember, he comes up clearly in my past life.
Wow.
Yes. And because in my past life regression, at one point, I was on the beach of California and I was looking out to the ocean for my man that who left to sea and didn't come back. And I was standing on the beach just longing and looking out. And now this man that was hitting on me has a big yacht parked out front, and he was leaving.
Mm.
And in my mind, I was like, but I never actually gave in to him. So, in a sense, my thought is in the past life, there was this loss, right, that I felt very deeply. And this loss, I transmuted that. I didn't
Mm.
feel anything. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, peace,
Sounds like
bye.
me right now with every guy that I flirt with.
Is
At
it?
first, I'm a little excited, and then I'm
Okay.
like,
How long does that take to fade for you?
not very long.
Days?
Yeah, days usually. Yeah.
Okay, days. Okay. So, which brings me to,
Sometimes weeks, though.
okay, sometimes weeks. Okay. So, present day, um, I posted, so I got monetized on Facebook, and I put a couple posts up just to see, like, okay, how is this going to work? Like, what would I have to do to get the engagement on my private page? Because it only works on private. I wish it worked on groups because I have crap ton engagement on my Facebook groups. But It's only like on your private page. And so I was like, okay, I don't really post much on my private page. So
Mhm.
about a month ago, and when I knew I was going back to Minnesota, asking for a friend, looking for dating app advice.
I
And
saw
you
that. I think
you
I
saw that,
commented
right?
on it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Um, and so I posted on there and I had said, asking for dating apps because I had noticed somebody on my Facebook that I knew from high school and
You
he'd
wanted
been
to let
coming
him
up.
know you're single?
I don't know how I have these mad skills, but somehow I think it might be just being in your presence.
That's pretty smooth, Nicole.
Well, it gets better.
Okay.
So I post, and I think he saw it and liked it or something. And I had several men reach out in my private messages. And one guy did ask me out on a date. He's somebody I worked with a long time ago. And I said yes,
Mhm.
I said, well, I won't be home till June. So, so once in a while he'll
Yeah.
like, hey, still going on a date? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so then a few weeks passed and I was like, he was on my radar more, like this guy, right?
Coming up in your feed more, you mean?
Coming up on me a few more because I was clicking on him. Clearly, if
Yeah.
I'd seen him, I'd watch his post or whatever, what he was doing at the time. And I was like, he's super, super like faithful, like and faithful in like a Christian manner, which I was like, wait, how is that
Mm.
going to work here? How is that going to work? Um, at first, right? Because for me, like I believe in Jesus and I believe in all of the things, but I'm also like I don't stigmatize myself to a religion, right?
Mhm.
And I've been so like turned off because my brothers made me feel that because of the way I believe that I'm wrong because he's a
Yeah.
Christian. And so
A
it's
lot of
been
Christians are like everything else is pagan and comes from the devil, and
yeah,
it's very
I hate that stigma. And I think
Mhm.
I kind of think the Catholic Church is to blame for stigmatizing that because they kind of,
Mhm.
I mean, they're the ones who are like, oh, these are witches and burn them at the stake kind of
Yeah.
thing. When it's not, they're doing the same thing in church. Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's
But, but the point is like, I didn't want to feel judged by somebody either, right?
Mhm.
So I posted that I had one date set up when I got home. This was a few weeks ago. I said, I have one date set up, but I want to date, which means I want to date a few different people. I don't want to just
Mhm.
date a person, right?
Yeah.
And because I've never done that. I've never done this in my life. So I post and of course I started getting the messages, coming in the comments. And my hope was he would see it, right? And within, I think, a half hour of posting, he had seen it and commented. And so then I engaged a question back, which was what I was doing with all of them because I was,
Mhm.
like I said, it was not only just testing the waters with him, but I was also testing, like, okay, if you keep the engagement up on the comments, then it helps get more people seeing it, right?
Mhm.
So I made sure I commented everybody, everybody, everybody. And then when he said something, I was like, oh, well, he said any guy that you would have or whatever. I can't even remember what he said. And so I asked him a question and then he sends me a private message.
Ooh.
And so I was like, he said any guy that would ask that wouldn't say yes to you would be foolish. I don't know. I don't know what he, like I said, I forget what he said.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's interesting because in my post, I had said there was a specific guy that I want to ask out, a
Mhm.
specific guy. And so when he messaged me, I said, well, how interesting because you're the one who I wanted to ask out.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you.
I said, so will you go out with me? And he said, of course. Like, and
Oh, I'm getting excited. I love this
thank
story.
you. No, no. And the interesting thing is, okay, so we went to high school together
Mhm.
almost 30 years ago. And I left high school my senior year. My parents, or my dad was going through a lot. My mom and dad were going through a lot, and we left and had to moved out of state, and so I had to finish my senior year somewhere else, and it was very traumatizing because I went from a town. I was living in a town of 150 people. I was going to school in a town that had 5,000 people that lived in this town, and we went to back to my whole hometown of Kenosha, which was complete culture shock to me, and now a graduating class of like hundreds, right? Like 400 or something. And so it's just a really traumatizing time. And I never, I connect with all these people on Facebook, but I've never really went back to my hometown, or I'm gonna say hometown, but I never really went back there.
Hmm.
And he's stayed there his whole life.
Okay.
And um, it's just we're real different in a lot of ways, right? But now we've been talking for a few weeks, and the connection is so intense. The
Yay.
conversation, the feelings, the all of it. It's like super, super intense. And I mean, to say I'm nervous, I don't know, but I know that day coming up, which is like by the time this video comes out, I will have went on my date the night before. So this airs on Sunday. I'm going on my date on Saturday. Yeah. I'm still in California, but I'll be home on tomorrow, tomorrow night. So okay. First of all, I'm nervous because I haven't dated in years. I haven't, I don't think I've ever really dated in a sense, like I've went on a few dates maybe, but like everyone I ended up with was like, I don't know, whatever, the two fathers of my kids. And like, it was never really like a dating thing, you just
Yeah, me neither. I never dated until now.
see it, right? It's
I
different,
would
isn't
meet
it?
someone and then that would be it. I would just start dating
Yes.
that person. But I never
Yeah.
like dated different
See,
people, testing the
right.
waters, meeting people.
Right. Which is like, I'm at the point that I don't know that I would want to date at this point. Like,
Mhm.
I don't like if this works out, I just don't see why I would like, there's
Yeah.
no question like
There's no point
whatsoever.
in dating
No,
anyone else if this works out.
if this works out. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I'm nervous. We're going to be riding a motorcycle, which is great, but I said I wasn't going to get back on a motorcycle after my accident. It wasn't a motorcycle accident, but I was just like, I don't like the injuries that I have. There's no way I want to hurt myself, but I am. I mean, Nicole does not let fear, get in the way.
Did you ask
So
him if he'll ride like a normal person, or do you trust him to ride
I
like a
trust him.
good person? That's awesome.
Yeah, I trust
Because I've
him.
seen guys ride like such idiots on motorcycles so many
I'm
times, and
sure.
I ride a motorcycle. I have a motorcycle license,
Okay.
but I won't get on a motorcycle with any guy unless I
Okay.
know what
I
they
know.
ride
Yeah.
like, because I'm
Right.
like, I'm not risking my life because
Yeah.
you want to show off to me,
Right.
you know?
Right. 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 Yeah. No, I mean, like, just based, like, I know it's easy to say, like, well, he says this, he says this, he says this.
Hmm.
And I get that. But the only reason I have the feelings I have for him is because I've been seeing the things he's been saying and doing, and I see the way he shows up in his community, and I see the way he fights for the things that he loves and that he believes in his views. And
Ah, that's awesome.
yeah, that's what like turned me on to
Yeah.
him, was like I was seeing him do these things, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, because I'm a fighter, I'm like like for my advocacy, and like for people who, aren't feeling 100%, like I'm fighting for them. So it's like to see someone else fighting for what they believe in, it's like that's sexy, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so the conversations have just been like so intense,
Did he
but
plan your
yeah.
date?
Well, so I asked him out. So I said, I'm planning the date, but then we
Okay.
kind of decided that like, let's not plan it. Let's just go with the flow. What happens,
Hmm.
happens. Let's just, he's going to pick me up and we're going to get on his bike and head off. And where we stop, we stop. And where we, yeah, kind of
Nice.
thing.
Sounds fun.
I'm excited. I'm also like, I guess what I'm look at, what I'm trying to say is like, obviously I'm nervous, right? Like
Hmm.
obviously the nerves, but I also feel so comfortable, like that I don't want to I don't want to fuck this up, Trina. That's what I'm trying to focus.
Well, if he's the right guy, you won't.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
he's the right guy, you can't fuck it up,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
It's like if the connection is strong for both of you,
Hmm.
then there's nothing you can do to fight it.
Yeah. 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 That. See,
Right?
and that's just it. Like, you know, here's the other beautiful part. He knows, like he's been following me like on my journey because he in our conversations, he's like, dude, you're doing like, I love what you're doing. And he knows about my ostomy. And that's
So
the
you
point.
don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
bring that
tell
up.
him. That's a bonus.
Don't have to tell him. And we know it's so funny too. Okay, so I will get into that. But about a week ago, I did a live on Ostomy Body Positive where I was talking about people who show up for you, like how they're gonna like react with your ostomy. They're gonna
Hmm.
ask questions, they're gonna want to know, they're gonna do their maybe their research or just get your opinion on it. And at one point in these conversations we've been having, he's like, by the way, I did some research, like I know like is that the ostomy, and he says, and showed that he very much did research what yeah,
That is
yeah.
such a good sign. That's a
Oh my gosh.
definitely a green flag.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
green flag. I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm feeling it. So
So far, I approve.
so do I. Um, but yeah, I guess I know I can't mess it up, but like you still feel like, right? Doesn't it like you
Is
still
there
kind of
anything
question?
in particular that you're nervous
I think
about?
I think I would be like, I think for me is because thinking about the inevitable of one day the intimacy part and not the
Hmm.
ostomy, although yes, that's going to come up for me.
Hmm.
But I guess just like even for me, it's like I feel like there's times that I've like went too fast or and I messed it up that way. But then again, it was because I feel like I was feeling pressure from like it was never because I wanted to. It was because I was feeling pressure from somebody and I was so gullible. Now I'm not that way anymore and I'm
Hmm.
always going to stand in my own. However, because it has been so long and it has been like and that energy is
Might be hard
so
for you to keep your hormones in.
girl, girl. I'm in my 40s, and they say like when you're in your 40s, you're like in your prime and like,
Right.
all that. And so, yes. So I guess I think that's what I'm looking for is like, because I think we mentioned this too, and I asked you this last week. I was like, how long do you like? And
Wait.
there's no time frame, right? There is no time frame. And we are adults, and there's all that, but I also don't want to fuck it up.
So what is this? Are you just going for a weekend visit and going on a date, or are you moving back home this weekend?
Oh, no, I'm going moving home to
You,
tomorrow.
wow. Good for
Yeah.
you. I thought you
Yeah.
weren't moving till June. I don't know
I
why.
wasn't.
Good
I
for you.
wasn't going to. I wasn't going to. But we had so the last week of caregiving, he had maybe like the start of something going on and it caused some things that were so hard on me, my body and everything. And here's the thing, I have so many doctor's appointments I need to catch back up on, so many tests, so many things, not
Hmm.
just for my accident, but with my Crohn's, with my ostomy, like
Yeah.
just so many things I need to go do back home. It was time anyways.
Yeah.
Um, but with what was going on over here, it just
He needed more specialized support.
he needed better support, somebody that could give him a little more time because I'm doing all this stuff, and it worked out that they were ready to go. And that's the other part of this. Like I feel like when something is energetically aligned, that the I already know
Everything just
that,
unfolds before you.
and that's exactly what's happening. Everything is just unfolding
That's
in
amazing.
a perfect way. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't judge you if you did like engage in intimacy
I mean,
right
not right
away.
away. Not
But
not the first time. Not
I
the
mean,
first
what
time. Not the
I
second.
like to wait because I love a slow burn. I want to feel those
Me too.
excitement,
Me too.
anticipation feelings for as long as I can before. But you
Me
know, some
too.
heavy petting, some making out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where I have to remember.
Just say, I
And
don't have sex on the first date, and I assume you don't because you're a
oh,
Christian.
it reminds me of that Matt Mason song. Do you know Matt Mason?
Yeah,
You get that hallucinogenic song. He goes, "Go find yourself a man that's strong and tall and Christian." It
yeah,
reminds me of that.
I love that
Um,
song.
hmm But yeah, no, no, and I would never like that. No, like first, no. But I also, like I said, I do. I just, yeah, I don't want to mess it. I feel like if I did, it would mess things up. Anyways, like
Mm.
I don't know why. I just do. No,
Yeah,
no.
no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
uh my
And I'm
last
not.
long-term relationship, it
hmm.
wasn't the first night, but it was the second night.
See, and see, that's what I'm saying. Like
And that
even
lasted 9 years, so
so, there's potential. No,
yeah,
but
there
no, no,
is.
no, and I wouldn't even consider it to be that soon, anyways. I guess like for me, like I just feel like naive to this part of my life, you know? I feel a little
Been a
naive.
while.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, and that's just it. Like you want when something feels so right, you just want to make sure that and I don't want to worry so much that I push it away either, because
Mhm.
that's the other part. And I'm not. I don't
So
feel
is the
worried.
worry that if you engage in intimacy too soon that you'll lose the relationship or you'll lose the spark?
I think I'm worried about a guy getting what he based on past experience,
Yeah.
getting what he wants, and then,
But is it what you want?
huh?
I mean, what you have to ask yourself when you finally do it is, am I doing this to keep this guy for the
Yeah,
rest of my
yeah,
life? Or am I
right.
doing this because I want to?
But see, that's the thing. My fear is that when you do it, it may be that he's discarding afterwards.
But if he is, then
Then it's not worth it.
you dodged a
Right.
bullet.
Exactly. But I still have this thing in the back of my mind, which is why I didn't engage with that other guy. And I'm so glad
Hmm.
I didn't, is because and I said this too in that podcast. I was like, I want a spiritual connection.
Hmm.
If a man, and I've been saying this for a few years, you better stimulate my mind better than you stimulate my vagina.
Yes, exactly. And also, like when guys rush into that, and women just we're more aroused by the connection and the
That's
giving
right.
of non-penetrative pleasure. Like just, that's what we love. And men think, I could never, I've heard so many men say this, hello guys, I could
Yeah.
never satisfy a woman now because they have erectile dysfunction or something. And I'm like, not, there are a lot of women who will probably be like, okay, that guy's even better than I thought because they just don't even want to do penetration anymore because they're sick of it because
Mhm.
the penetrative sex they've had has been all about the penetration, which
Right.
isn't that great of sex.
Right. Right.
And,
Right.
and guys don't get it. They don't get it because for them, that's very, like, they're
Well,
actually
the
biologically
masculine.
driven to do it. Like, it's even
Mhm.
out of their control in some ways because it's a biological drive. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's within their control because they're rational human beings at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think what you'll find is that the reason you're probably having these fears right now is obviously based on your past experiences, but also because your entire relationship so far with this wonderful gentleman is online.
Yeah.
But once you're in person and you can see and feel and watch how he behaves with you,
Yeah.
test him a little bit. Like test him,
Yeah.
see what he's like when you go out for dinner. You might find that there are things about him that you're like, I don't know.
True. That's
But
true.
then you'll be like, so because everything is a trade-off. So when you get
Mhm.
in a relationship, you're going to have to sacrifice some things.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you're also going to hopefully be blessed with things you didn't have, right?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
goal is that that your life is better than it was before. Otherwise, no point in being in a relationship.
The compliments, the complementary to your life.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like if he is someone who ticks the important boxes,
Yeah.
communicates with you, doesn't send you mixed signals like the other
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
uh, does what he says he's gonna do,
Right.
you know,
Right. That's a
all
big
that
one.
kind of
That's a
stuff.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that will come with like weeks of dating and seeing what he's
Yeah.
like and being in his
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's to me, I've had that happen too, where like you make out or get together with them physically, and then that's all it is.
Right.
But for me, I never really, I don't know. I've never really taken it personally, so it hasn't like made
Okay.
me feel bad about myself. I've always looked at it like glad that I dodged a bullet. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
That's true. That's
although I
true.
do understand like a feeling of like, I wish I didn't give it up to that loser.
Right. See,
I've
there's a
done
little bit of
that.
both. Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yes.
But it's not usually because they just wanted that. It's usually for me because I find out later that they're not a nice person or that
Okay.
they've hurt somebody or they say something really ignorant and I
Yeah.
just start to see them as a person who's unworthy of being with this
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
a
for
little
sure.
bit arrogant maybe.
That's not arrogance. No, that is not arrogance. See, that's like knowing your worth and your
Yeah.
value. That's where we're at. Like
Yeah.
people women and men both have to understand that their value is so much worth more than they even know most of the time.
Yeah. So I think like if you go back home and you see that he is
Hmm.
genuinely a
Hmm.
good human being,
Yeah.
that you would never be embarrassed at a later date for having a one night stand with him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Which you're not
Yeah.
going to do. But I'm just
No.
saying, like as a hypothetical,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's a test for me. Like that's why I don't sleep with guys until I get to know them anymore
Yeah.
because I've had that experience where I felt like that guy did not deserve to have
Right.
sex with me.
Right. Exactly.
And I regret it because I wish I'd known him better and
Hmm.
never done that, you know?
Hmm. And I want to say this too, and I preface that I know I've healed from my past relationships, but I also know that I've never been in a good relationship, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's also difficult because, the three big relationships I've had was, the first father of my kids, and he was he wasn't like a beater, right? He didn't beat me, but he was very emotionally manipulative in
Mm-hmm.
so many ways. But he would like steal my stuff. If they were clothes I looked good in, I'd find them cut up in my closet.
Oh
Uh,
God,
oh yeah.
that's abuse. That is some
He stole one of
crazy.
each of like I had all my shoes, right? He stole one of each pair, one shoe
Oh
of
my
each
God.
pair.
I'm so
Like
sorry you went
like
through
where do
that.
you come up with this? And then I was with the father of my younger two kids, and um he went to prison for trying to kill me.
Oh my
And so
God, Nicole.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
So no wonder you have all of this
So there's some
baggage
there's
that
some
you
trauma.
and shit
But
that
the
you've had to work through. Holy shit.
right. And then the next relationship was never abusive whatsoever, but he had PTSD from the war, and he was just really not there, right? Not
Mhm.
there emotionally. And so yeah, there's never been a good role model in my sense of like
Mhm.
being able to, but I do that the best part of it is I do know that I deserve that, and I do know that I know the signs to look for, and
Okay, so
unless
what are the signs?
the negative ones are the good ones.
The good ones.
So I will say, like, somebody who is actively taking part of their life and do working towards a goal. It doesn't have
That
to
matters to
be
me too. And I don't know any guys like that. None.
you know?
It's so
It,
frustrating. My
it
son
is
says
like,
it's because of where I live, but
I don't think so. Because here's the thing. Those guys are sitting around playing video games or wasting their time
I
away
know.
doing this, that, or the other. But a guy who has like a goal, like even if it's fishing, like, right? He's fishing and creating videos. Maybe he's fishing and
Yeah.
with the sense of I'm going to start a business, like, and he's doing something,
Yeah.
whatever it is, there's some kind of
But we
hobby.
talked about this with me, remember? And we were like, do I want someone like that or do I want someone who's more of a rock? I do feel like I lean towards I want someone more like me, who's driven
Yeah.
and has
Who's
like a
driven.
creative side that wants to do stuff. Yeah.
You
That
have to have,
that would be nice.
yes. I think you have to because um you if you're living this life that's like, hey, by the way, I have meetings, I have clients, I have like for instance, I have to fly to Boston the end of June, like for this meeting. And it's
Mhm.
like you have to have somebody who also is doing their own thing because they're going to be sitting on the couch just like wonder when she's going to be home. Wonder what she's doing.
Yeah.
Is
That's
she
a
really
codependent relationship though. If
is
you
she
found someone else who was secure, they would be okay with doing whatever they're doing, I think. But yeah, the anxious attachment is going to be like that.
anxious
They're going to
attachment?
be crazy when
Yeah.
you're apart.
Yes. And I
And
don't
like,
want that
what is she
because
doing? Who is she doing?
right. But that's just it. Like when you get to a healthy state of your life, a healthy point in your life, you are doing your own thing.
Yes,
And see, and
exactly.
that's what I see about him. It's like he has this, he has that, he has this. So he's doing things.
Like
He's
a
doing things in
needy
the
man
community.
at this age is so unattractive to me.
Oh
But
my God.
an
Okay.
absent or avoidant man is also extremely unattractive to me.
Right. And if you think about it, right, that is extremely and exact.
Yeah.
See, there's the point. There's a middle ground. And the
Yes.
middle ground is somebody who goes out and lives their life, but still is either sends you that daily message
Yeah.
or shows up unannounced and like, I
Yeah.
missed you and I just needed to see you,
And we talked
And
about this before. The secure
yeah,
attachment, if they think that you're getting insecure or you're struggling, they'll try to help you. They'll try to reassure you. They won't
yeah,
like be like, I've already told you I love you. You know I
yeah,
love you. They
yeah,
won't be
yeah,
like, what are you crying about now?
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? This is not what a secure attachment will do. They're not like that. They're like, oh, honey, really? That hurt you when I said that? I
yeah,
didn't want to hurt you. Come here, let me give you a hug. That's what a
yeah,
secure attachment will do. So
yeah.
definitely watch for those signs.
Okay.
Another
Okay.
thing I really like, green flags, I think are the most important because everything else, it's a trade-off. All the
Hmm.
negative stuff you say to yourself, can I live with this or not? And if the person is amazing in a million ways and they just
Hmm.
have a few little things, then you can
Yeah.
live with it, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
if they're not that amazing, it's like, no, I can't fucking live with that. If he's gonna leave the toilet seat up every day and he doesn't treat me with respect,
Right.
you know,
Right.
like, no, thank you.
Right.
But I think like to me, what I learned with my ex, because we were both very broken when we met, we were
Hmm.
not fully healed. And we did a
Hmm.
lot of healing together. I did a lot of
Yeah.
healing with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And him not as much with me. With for him, I think I just provided a really safe space for his avoidant
Hmm. Hmm.
personality, his avoidant attachment self, because I'm so independent and I wouldn't like try
Yeah.
to chase him,
There you go.
so he could just he would never feel like, oh God, I have to deal
Yeah.
with this woman.
Which probably kind of worked,
It
right?
did. I mean, I can in the future secure only, but in the past it's almost always been avoidant for me
Wow.
because I can't stand someone who's too codependent, like too needy.
Sure.
But I think what I learned from that relationship, because I was so happy with him, even though we went through some really horrible times and he did some pretty shitty shit,
Hmm.
like as a drug addict and an alcoholic and going
Yeah.
on benders and cheating even.
Mm.
But we were best friends, like
Mm.
best friends. So I think test your friendship. Can you say anything to him and he won't
Yeah.
take it wrong? Can
Yeah.
you be yourself? Can you make a mistake and not he'll
Yeah.
and he won't use it against you?
Right. Right.
These are the tests
Good.
to me that matter. Like with my ex, even though I wouldn't never get back together with him again, are aspects of that relationship that I would look for again. And one of those is the ability to be myself and not ever feel judged by my partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that if I can't
Yeah.
have that, at least, then
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
want to be in a relationship because I'm way happier by myself not being judged.
No,
You
and
know?
we shouldn't have to feel judged, like not at all,
And
especially when
in
we're
yeah,
at this point in our lives,
yeah,
right?
and in bad relationships, that's how we feel, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure you felt judged by, the first two
Oh,
relationships at least that you were
100%.
in.
All of them,
Um,
yeah.
and like you can never be good enough, especially if a person's not communicating with you, then you start to wonder too, like, you know, you don't know what's going on in their mind or what they're thinking or what they're doing because
Yeah.
they don't communicate. So that would
Yeah.
be really important thing to
Yeah.
watch for. And it sounds like
And
he already is.
I think so. And I think you're right, like the communication. I was actually telling my son this yesterday because he was crying about the boy he was dating. And he
Oh,
was like, yeah. And I was like, listen, you learned something from this, right? Like you learned just now in this moment that if you're going to communicate, you have to mean what you say and say what you mean because you played a game and it backfired on you. And so
yeah,
now you take this information and you move it into the next relationship and you know now don't say something you don't mean, you know?
exactly.
And so I can see, and I told him, I said, I'm only learning right now
Hmm.
in my 40s that communication is going to be the most important thing in a relationship is communication
But
of
guys aren't
all,
very good at communication. Guys are
yeah,
not biologically wired for communication. So
really
you have to be able to like find the way to communicate with them. So
with
to me,
them.
a lot of it is just the security. If
Okay.
like he might not say a lot, but if he reassures me when I need it, then that means something. Or if
Mm,
the relationship breaks down or he's jealous about something and I confront him and say, "We need to talk about this." He'll sit
yeah.
down and he'll talk to me.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, I personally don't think it's beneficial to put a lot of pressure on men to communicate because they
Okay.
struggle with it, whereas women, it's
Okay.
our natural thing. Men communicate with their bodies. They physically
Mm,
communicate,
mm.
and that's why they express their love through lovemaking, through physical
Okay.
intimacy. Whereas
Okay.
women, we express our love by, affection,
Yeah.
words of affirmation,
Mhm,
quality
mhm.
time, spending time together,
Right.
the social bonding types, emotional bonding types of
Mhm,
things, right?
mhm.
But guys
Yep.
need that emotional bonds, but that's not
Yeah.
how they go trying to get it.
That's funny because my sister this morning said, she's like, yeah, I still have to tell my husband, because my sister's like buff and athletic and like all these things. She goes, I still twice a week ask him to open the jar because it's too hard for me to open.
She does
I was
that
like,
just to make him feel like a man. Oh,
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
her. She's awesome. That's
And she's like,
awesome.
and the laundry, she's like, I deadlift like whatever, how many pounds? She goes, I still tell him that the laundry's too heavy for me to bring the basket up the stairs. So, um, I think
She's
that's
awesome.
also, it's kind of the physical part, right? That's the physical part you're talking about. She's also, my sister has a lot of like little good nuggets, but she also said this that a long time ago, and it goes back to what you were just saying about the emotions. Um, something about men feel only like seven emotions, while we have like 50. Maybe it wasn't her who said this. There's
Hmm,
some a weird number where
that's interesting.
women have all these things and men have like five or six or seven, right? So it does make for the dynamic is hard, right? Like
Mhm. Especially
I
because we're
think that
not taught this. Like we think, oh God, they're so focused on sex when that's how they're wired to get emotional intimacy is through
right.
sex. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, she wants to have a talk again. And that's how we get horny as we have these emotional
Yeah.
connections. And then we're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I feel so close to him right now. I want him to be inside me. But back to what you're going through, I think that there's some really green flags with him that would indicate that he is not the type of guy that would just want to get in the sack with you.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
do too.
guys who want just, or who that's just really all they're after is, once or maybe even a handful of times of getting in
Yeah,
the sack with you, aren't going to research your ostomy.
that's true, right?
They
Right.
don't care about your ostomy, and
Yeah,
they don't care about your ostomy.
yeah. They don't
You know
really
what I
care
mean?
anyways, right?
That's a huge one right there. And
Mm,
I think that you probably, if you think about it, have seen other signs. But that to me is like, no, a guy that what is taking time to learn about you and get to know you has investment in
yeah,
this
yeah,
situation,
yeah.
which I think is so beautiful.
Thank you.
What's
I'm
his
so
relationship history? Do you know?
I don't know a lot. I just know he's from what I gather, he's been single a little while. Since he and I have been now on Facebook. I haven't seen him with anybody or anything like that. So it's been a little while, I think. I don't think the length of time for me, I don't think it's that same length of time. I think he has had relationships since.
Mhm.
Um, but he's also a recovering, addict with certain things.
Yeah,
And but he's been sober for like a really long time, a
nice.
really, really long time,
I
very
find a
active.
lot of people in the program who
He's in
have
the
been
program.
sober
Yeah.
for years and years and years,
Yeah.
they're always doing self-work.
Yes.
I
And
love that. That's
and
a
he,
really important quality to me.
and he is, and I can tell. And I think that's what kind of attracted him. He became attracted to me was because I'm very post about a lot of the things that I've been doing and all the places I've done and some of the practices and things that I've gotten into. And so um, I do think that that's what, attracted because I think he knows like if you're going to be, again, it goes back to those common goals and those common things. Like he's self worked on himself. Like, granted, I didn't have addictions. It wasn't based on that, but it was my health. It was my mental health. It was my past relationship. It was all these things, right?
Yeah.
And I've worked at those things for myself, and so we're both self
That's
doing this
cool. I
work.
mean, if he's
Yeah,
attracted to you because you're doing self-work, I mean,
yeah,
he sounds like a perfect man.
yeah. I know he
Because
does
I'm
like that.
attracted to men who are doing self-work.
Hmm. Yeah,
They're so hard
yeah.
to find.
It is hard to find. Yeah, that's the thing. It is hard to find,
Mhm.
and
And
I
I want
don't.
not just a guy who does like works on his emotions, but cares about his health,
Yeah, yeah,
watches what he eats,
yeah, yeah,
exercises, like does
yeah.
things like cares about takes care of himself,
The temple. Take care of the
Yeah,
temple.
because I
Mhm.
take care of myself.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I always find it so weird that these guys that are like really unhealthy, eat shit food, like
Hmm.
obese, some of them,
Hmm.
obviously not taking care of their health, barely
Hmm.
ever like get up to go for a walk, and they're trying to date me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't have anything in common. Like, that's a huge
Um,
thing to me. Health,
No,
after everything I've been through.
right. Are you gonna really, because that's the thing. You gonna really want to lay around in his bed like while he's playing video games?
Right.
Like, or watching TV all day or snacking on
Did you know video
binge
games is the reason that my oldest daughter's dad and I split up? He was addicted to
really?
them. He was addicted to video games. It was right back when people were first getting computers, like in the late
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And he got a computer because he went to school and became like a computer technician. And
Hmm.
after that, that's all he did. He was so
Wow.
addicted to video games that it just
Not
destroyed
bad.
our relationship. He started to get pudgy and pale, and I just lost my attraction to him altogether because
Of course.
I had to make him get up in the morning and to go to work because he would stay up all night playing video games. Like, what kind of man thinks a woman's going to be attracted to that?
There's no way. There's
You
no way.
know?
Especially someone who's been working on themselves. There's no way you're going to
Yeah.
scale yourself backwards. And there's the saying about the five people. You're the sum of the five people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Like what? You're not going to put yourself backwards. I look back right now, even just like 5 years ago, there was people I hung out with because I knew there's like I could see their souls. And I don't want to say naive to that, but I always look for the good in people. But
Yeah.
now looking back, like I can love them as friends from afar,
Hmm.
but there no way are people I'm going to spend my time with. And not because I'm better, it's because
No.
I'm just working on myself and I'm not going to put myself in that. Like I'm
Yeah, because
not.
they'll drag you down.
You will, Jay. It
I remember
will.
I had
It
this
will.
girlfriend like for years, years. And one night she comes to the bar where I'm working as a massage girl in the strip club.
Hmm.
And I'm having like the worst headache of my life. And I'm like just about to leave. And she was like, "Oh, can you just stay for one drink? I've had a really bad day. I just wanted to see you." I was like, "Okay, fine." I sit down. We're having this one drink, and I can't even listen to her because I have such a terrible headache. And she says, "Can we order another drink?" And I said, "Honestly, why don't we
Yeah.
go back to my house and we'll have some drinks? I need to get home. I need to take some Advil or something. My head is pounding." And she got mad at me, like threw a hissy fit, walked out of the bar. And I was like, okay, she's had a bad day. I was really nice about it. Tried to call her several
Yeah.
times and say, let's work this out. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I knew she was overreacting, but I still took the high road and tried to heal this little rift that she caused.
Hmm.
And she wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't have anything to do with me. And so, a couple months later, when she did try to contact me, I just didn't respond. I was like, I don't need your drama. I
Same.
don't need to be
Yeah.
treated like that. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
friends with someone who treats me like that.
No.
I don't need you in
No.
my life.
No.
I'll like
No.
your Facebook posts, and that's about it.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
you know?
I had a similar situation like just 2 years ago. She's another nomad girl, good friends. Like I love her to death. But she was drinking a lot and doing that kind of thing. And she'd come over to ask me about me, like, "Oh, I know you just went on that show. How was the entrepreneurship show? Or how is the business?" And she'd say she wants to come over to ask me and talk to me about it. She never would ask. It would just go into like this dramatic crying episode about her life and how
Oh my
this and
God,
how
I
my
had a
hair. And
friend
I'm just
like
like,
that too.
I was just like for an hour, and then
Mhm.
I listened for like an hour. That I was just like this doormat, and
Yeah.
I'm like, eventually I just had to cut ties.
You know what? You know how I deal with those people?
What do you do?
And I have friends like that, but they never phone me like that after once. They do it once
Okay.
and they'll never do it again because
Tell me.
I call them out. I call them out for the
Good.
shit. Well, why did you do that? Well, why did you say
Mhm.
that? I don't say, "Oh, you're right. Oh, how could he have done that? Oh my
Right.
God, I feel so bad for you." I don't say that. I say,
Good.
"Well, don't you think when you said that his reaction was normal?"
Hmm.
Like, I just call
That's
them
good.
out. And
And it,
everything they say, I'll say, "Really? You did that? Don't
yeah,
you think that's a
yeah,
little over the top?"
yeah.
And nobody wants you
Good.
to say those
That's
things.
that's actually being a better friend than enabling the other
And then
behavior.
if they ever really want a real opinion from someone, they know who to call.
Is this shirt look cute? I mean, well, I don't know. Let's try
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Well, this was good. I really I think I feel less. I don't want to say nervous. Like nervous isn't the right word.
Change
It
that
is.
whenever you feel nervous, change it to excitement.
Yes, it is excitement. It's a good
Transmute that
excitement.
shit.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I could totally be off base too, right? I could be totally wrong about the whole thing. You never know.
What do you mean?
That's why.
Like you meet him in person and there's no attraction?
Well, no, I think there would be an attraction. I think maybe I've misread everything, right? Maybe I've missed. I know I haven't, but I'm trying to put it out there as in like if there was a pain or hurt that I won't be so hurt if it happens, right? Like there's.
Yeah. Well, how I would look at it, honestly, Nicole,
Mhm.
is these last few weeks or however long it's been since you guys have been connecting have been so fucking fun. They've
Yeah,
they've showed you you still have those feelings, that
yeah,
they've showed you that there is a possibility of you meeting someone. You're
yeah,
horny
yeah.
again. Probably been a while since you felt, that very much.
Yeah, yeah.
All of this wonderful feelings, connecting with someone, having
Mhm.
amazing conversations. If you never saw him again, you would be so grateful you've had this time.
That's
You
very
know what I
true. I
mean?
love
So focus
that's
on like
yeah. That's a
embracing
good
today.
That's a really, really good reframe
Hmm.
because I do that with everything else in my life. Why would I not do that here? And I
Yeah.
didn't even think of
I did
that.
that for 9 years in my relationship because,
Mhm.
things were really shitty sometimes. And we broke up a few times and got back together because I wasn't willing to stay if things weren't good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if things were good, they were great. And I
Mhm.
wanted to have a great day or a great
Oh,
month or a great couple years. After, repeated times of uh his addiction issues, we grew apart and it just
mhm.
became the right time for us to end the relationship. But I don't regret
Yeah.
the many, like, I don't even regret being with a guy who cheated on me and
Yeah.
went on
Yeah.
benders for weeks at a time. I don't regret it because I had so much fun and I
Yeah.
felt so in love for a lot of it. And we
Yeah.
really were like best friends for a lot of it. So taking cherishing what the good things that you're
The
getting
good
out of
thing.
this
Yeah.
without putting like an expectation that this has to be for forever,
Yeah. Yeah.
going day by day. This is still great. I'm going to keep going. This is still great. I'm going to keep going. And then if
Mhm.
something bad happens, you're like, this sucks, but so much great has happened. I'm going to
Yeah.
wait and I'm going to keep going.
It's it's like
You know?
it's like being in the now because you're really being in
Yes.
the present. We actually him and I are actually talking about being in the present. Um, but it's super powerful because that's how you manifest more is like by being content with what you have. I was on a phone call with one of my good friends today, and I was like, I feel like I'm winning at life right now. Like I'm winning at life.
You
And
are.
I was like, this is what and Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, she channels Abraham Hicks. And what her premise of her whole message is that when you are content in the now, but you know this future still has so much there for you, like if I were to leave this earth today, I would be so content with where I'm at
Me
because
too.
I feel so much love and appreciation and I feel my heart open and I feel, I see my grandkids are healthy and my kids are happy and um my business is doing, I'm getting messages every day from people like, I love this. This is help making me feel better, confident.
Mhm.
And then the advocacy, like it just feels so good. It's like, so if I could do that, inject boy here,
Yeah.
like it is like, hello, thank you for that.
I
That's
mean, you never
amazing.
know what's going to happen, right? Something could
Mhm.
happen to one of you,
Yeah.
or the
Yes.
world could end. I don't know. Like anything could happen.
Yeah.
And so really all we have is what we have right now. So we
Right
can't
now.
count on the future no matter who it is, even if
Yeah.
it is our soulmate, even if everything works out perfectly for you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And looking in the past isn't good either. So learning from the past, but
Mhm.
not staying there, not
Mhm.
worrying about. And I think part of that is like the message too, is like I really need to, not worry about if it wouldn't work out because of the past trauma. So,
Mhm.
well, thank you. This was amazing.
You're
Again, it's all
welcome.
you.
I enjoyed
Trina,
this. I love having
Trina,
girl
your
talk.
ostomy coach right here. The intimate ostomate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me
Cool.
about all your naughty, fun problems and I'll get giggly.
Well, speaking of naughty, next week we're going to be talking about porn.
Yeah.
Specifically the like effects, I think really is kind of what we're going to get into. The
We're going to talk
effects
about
that
porn and like the whole penetration paradigm that's destroying sensuality
Mhm,
for
mhm.
especially people our age, because as we get older, we can't, after our surgeries and whatnot, can't
Yeah,
necessarily do it the way they're doing it in porn.
right,
And a lot of
right.
us don't want to.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to talk about
So have
that.
girl talk about porn.
I love that. I love that. I've gotten asked like by women even, like working in restaurants across the country. I've had several times people have said, "You don't watch porn?" And I'm like, "No. Do you?"
I
And
don't.
they said yes. And I'm like, I don't. Like I don't, I'm not like I've never seen it. I have
I mean,
seen
yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
But I don't watch it. Like I don't go
Mm.
online and
I
watch
mean,
it.
it can just speed things up a little.
Okay. Okay.
That's about it,
Fair
at
enough.
least in
Fair
my
enough.
experience.
Touche. To each your own.
But I really think like being able to depend on your imagination is a lot better.
Yeah, I think so too. Well,
But
hey,
we'll talk
we
about
talk
it
about
more next week.
visualization.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
All
Nicole,
right.
before you go, don't you have some kind of sale or something going on or some kind
I
of
do. There's a Mother's Day sale going on. Right now I think it's you buy two of the Anything But Basic, get one free, my
this is
bestseller.
underwear for people with ostomies.
Women ostomy underwear. And I also have there's some other kind of deal. If you go to my website at ostomyinnovations222.com, you can check that sale out. So
And the website address will also be in the description under this video.
yes.
And if you're interested in getting some free resources specifically around intimacy after ostomy, I've got an intimacy after ostomy guide for people with ostomies. I've got a partner guide so you can share it with your partner. It's right on my website. You
Hey,
can
I actually
download
need
it.
that maybe.
Yeah, you should. You should download it. And there's also a couple of other free resources. So please go to my website and check them out, intimateostomate.com. Until next week.
Bye, y'all.